Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we got a ball review for you. What we're going to be doing is reviewing the new Paragon Shadow. Now, this ball has already been released by the time this video comes out, but I was a massive fan of the original Paradox line and then the new Paragon. I wanted to go ahead and do a ball review on this because it's going to be very useful for me, and hopefully I can get some good information for you guys. With that being said, we're gonna be bowling on our typical ball review pattern, which is just a souped up house shot. Very simple, allows you to play a couple different angles, but does have some volumes that are big old bowling balls like this. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's get a little warmed up. We're gonna throw a shot, like I mentioned before, up 5. Now, being a big old asymmetric bowling ball, I don't think it's gonna stay on the right side of head pin, but other balls have surprised me in the past. So let's see if we can throw a shot. Somewhere around 5. Yeah, definitely hooked pretty early. So this ball is marketed from track as a heavy oil bowling ball. Well, what does that mean? Typically what that means is big core, aggressive cover stock. So this core, or this ball, has the I 3.0 core, same as the Paragon, slightly modified from the Paradoxes, which the I core 2.0. So the core is slightly changed, but in general, they do have a lot of the same identity as the old Paragons. So let's go ahead and try to get one going up around second arrow. Honestly, this is probably where it should play, somewhere, a little more front to back. Yeah, close, super close. That one, I can definitely see that it's a stronger bowling ball. It likes to read more of that mid lane. Now, with this being a hybrid cover stock, one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about. What is hybrid? Well, hybrid's a combination of solid and pearl. Well, 80-20, is it 70-30? Now, some companies do tell you kind of what the ratio is, but we can also figure that out with our eyes. With the surface this comes out at, which is 1500, which is a decent amount of surface for sure, this ball reacts much more like a solid than it does like a pearl. So I would say it's a solid dominant hybrid, and it kind of reacts like one. However, with that said, one of the things about hybrids is they do like to lose their surface, get lane shine a little bit quicker. So as we bowl a little bit, that's one of the things I'm gonna be paying attention to. So that hooked a little bit too much. We're gonna go ahead and make the adjustment with our feet. We're just gonna move closer to third arrow, see how it looks. I think I could adjust physically, but I wanna play some different angles. So go ahead and try to go around third arrow, 8, 10, somewhere around there. Oh, I pulled it. Okay, so I meant to say 18 at the arrows, not 15. We're gonna go ahead and redo that one. Bit of a pull. If that struck there, I got an easy pattern or a really good bowling ball. Let's try third arrow again. Again, trying to get it just right at that tracer. All right, better. I hit my mark, so that's cool. That one definitely took off a little bit. It's definitely a strong ball. Like, it's gonna wanna cover boards. Now, playing with a ball like this, I would imagine that it's not gonna be the best playing a big left to right shape unless there's a good amount of volume. On something like a house shot, there's a lot of friction right. So I think if I cover too many boards, this ball might either jump or puke out a little bit, but we're gonna keep moving left till we see that. Go ahead and move left a little bit more, play around 18-ish. I just cannot bowl. That, I hit-ish my mark, but I didn't hit the ball. All right, 18 at the arrows. Yeah, that was better. That was definitely better. I hit what I was looking at, and it did kind of what I expected. The ball is just crossing a little too many boards, kind of burning all its energy up, and I leave a flat 10. So that tells me we kind of got as far left as I'd be comfortable with, at least trying to strike with this ball. I can make it work, but I'd have to finagle quite a bit to make it scoreable. So we're gonna move back right a little bit. I think the happy zone with this ball is gonna be a little bit of belly. It's a strong overall reaction, but I think crossing that many boards is just a no-go at this point. So let's go ahead and move right. I really like, so I'm gonna go back to second arrow, play up the lane a little bit more. Big asymmetric balls, I mean in general, more specifically the solids or maybe the solid dominance or something with surface, they like to flare, they like to burn energy, right? So they need some oil, and that's why these balls are marketed for high volumes of oil. If we get to the point where we're crossing too many boards, it just burns too much energy up and doesn't have anything for the pocket. So I wanna play a little bit straighter, cross a few less boards, and then make some changes with my release, speed, stuff like that in order to keep the head pin in play. So let's go ahead and move back to second arrow, and then we'll slowly make some adjustments off that. So this one's gonna be about up second arrow, maybe get out to, not really up, probably like 8, 7, 6. All right, I got that to 9. I hit my mark a little left, but overall still hooked quite a bit. So I'm gonna make some changes here. I threw the original Paragon Pearl, Paradox Black in college, and those were phenomenal bowling balls. Like, everyone had them, they were always on fresh, so I would imagine this should be the same. But again, when we got left with them, they were... All right, better, definitely better. I moved a little left, so I think now I can pick up my speed, maybe take a little hand out of the ball, and we should be in the pocket. But again, smooth type of bowling ball, big ASIM, likes to roll a little bit more forward on the back end. Right now, the ball is generally just hooking a little too early, so it's not keeping the head pin in play. So we're just gonna speed it up and see if we can get it down lane a little bit further. Much better, much better. As a higher rev rate bowler like myself, I love hits like that, mostly because when you have rev rate and speed, it is an advantage, but you can use less pocket. So that's a great example where I can hit light and still carry. All right, let's try to repeat a shot. I haven't been able to do that today. Nice. So where I think this ball lays in an arsenal, it can 100% be your, what we call your one ball, your heaviest, highest volume, slowest response ball. Now, is it the slowest responding bowling ball on the market? No, not at all, but that's okay. For certain bowlers, maybe they already have a strong ball roll. Their stuff like to roll a little bit earlier. This can definitely help you out quite a bit because it does have that hybrid cover stock. It will get down lane a little bit more than like a Mesmerize or something just really solid, especially like a max bias. That thing just flared a ton. So I think this will definitely lie as your one, maybe your two ball, depending on what your arsenal looks like, if you know what you're bowling on. I would imagine this would be a great complement to, like I mentioned before, like a Mesmerize. Like if you want to throw a ball like the Mesmerize, maybe game one, I can see you step down to this, stay in the same spot. Now, I do think there's some overlap there. If you have a 6-ball arsenal, maybe a little too similar, but definitely if you got a little bit more room than that, I could see a big ASIM and this big ASIM kind of fit around that 1-2 hole in your bag. All right, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna try to get squared up a little bit more on the head pin, see how it changes. That was squared up right there. That looked good. Compliments to this ball. When should we throw this one? And then like, what are we going to after? One of the things I like to do when I categorize my bowling balls for an arsenal is figure out how much volume it needs and the response time. Now, as we bowl more and more, we're not adding volume to the pattern. I mean, yes, if we move left, we're moving into maybe more oil. In general, we're not gonna be adding oil. We're not putting oil on our ball and then throwing it. So that always tells me that we're gonna start with probably your heaviest volume kind of bowling ball. Then as the volume disappears, your bowling ball should be better on lower and lower amount of oil for the most part. The other thing you should select is your response time. So this definitely fits that high volume, slow response time. Whereas it could be high volume, quick response would be like a Pearl, for example. So for this type of bowling ball, it definitely fits that high volume, slow response. Compliments to it could be a little bit less volume, maybe a little quicker response, something like a hammerhead. You can even do like a stealth mode because it gives you a little bit more continuation down lane. Something like that where you're not gonna be going down to maybe a Turbo X. Like it's definitely more of a jump, but balls that would complement it would be, yeah, the hazmat, or not the hazmat, the hammerhead, storm guy. Yeah, I mentioned this previous video, phase 2. Bowling balls like that still have a bigger core, but maybe a symmetric, maybe a little bit more tamed down cover stock would be a good complement to this. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and just throw a bunch of shots. We're gonna get a little montage for you. And that way you guys can see a little bit more bowling and a little bit less of me yapping. So let's go ahead and throw some shots. A little inside, a little inside. Jesus. It wants to so bad and then it doesn't, which is fine. Oh my God, it's so difficult. Oh, beautiful. All right, so playing with this ball deep is a struggle bus right now. Not because it's bad or anything, it's just, it's not meant for it. So it's understandable, but I'm trying to make it work and it ain't working. So let's leave you guys off with one good shot. I'm gonna play where I like to play with this thing, which is around second-ish arrow. Try to knock 10 pins down. Yeah, that was much better. So the Paragon Shadow, definitely a big asymmetric type of bowling ball. Doesn't have the most aggressive cover, but because of the hybrid, but it's still aggressive. Like, it still has some punch to it. It's still gonna pick up the mid lane. It does everything that you want from an asymmetric solid, but with a slightly cleaner cover stock. If you are interested in this ball, it should be out already by the time this video is released. So if you guys want one, go to your local pro shop, hop up online, go ahead and pick one up today. With that said, my name is Jason Robarge. This is the review of the new Paragon Shadow. Much love, peace.